We took a chance coming out here for sure. We put our apartment on sale in New York City, which is a wonderful little place, but the only way we could possibly do this is by using the money from the sale of the apartment, plus some other help from our family to get this going. And we just picked up and went. We put our stuff on the truck, and I don't know if you've ever seen an 18-wheeler stuffed with stuff from a small little 400 square foot apartment. It fits in one corner of it. And it really just the heart sank, and we just said, okay, I guess we're going now. And we bought one-way tickets, told the driver to drive slow. When we came here, we called him while he was on the road and said, okay, here's the address, here's where you drop the stuff off.
And you actually found a place.
And we actually found a place to live, yeah. The realization that we were in a different place came to when we were able to find a beautiful two-story home with a nice little acreage and a beautiful garden with fresh tomatoes in the back lot, for literally quarter of as much as we would normally pay for a rent of a studio in New York City. And it was a great revelation. It was an amazing ability to say, wow, this is Oregon. I think we can live here.
Now, this book that you just put out, this new beautiful collection of recipes, anything, the mouth waters on almost anything from your stuffed eggs to... But I wanted you to describe one of the dishes, and just because it's kind of a recent trend to have hamburgers, sort of something very, very simple like that. Describe your Paley's hamburger to me. What is it?
Well, hamburgers is this American staple. Hamburger is this hamburger and French fries. This American combination that dates back God knows when. And because we are in America, even though we may have a French accent on our food, it only makes sense that we explore every folklore we can possibly explore. And so the mission is once we decided we're going to put hamburger on a menu, we said, how can we make it better? And so we went and found the best American Kobe beef, and we made a burger from that. We spice it ourselves with just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We made our own homemade brioche bun. We make our own aioli. We mix it together with whole grain mustard. We make our own ketchup. We put that on a different side of a bun. We grill a Walla Walla onion. And so this burger represents not just the American tradition, but also it gives a sense of place, and the sense of place is here in Oregon. And it's also easy to understand for a lot of people that may get intimidated by other things. And so for me, it's an important process where I balance things on the menu, where I put things for people that know and that are familiar with them, so that they can come here and just enjoy the food. And of course, if they want to know more, there are those things that will educate them as well. But burger does represent a very plain, simple, yet refined at the same time.
And it looks absolutely delicious. And you make your own ketchup.
We do.
I mean, all these small things that all add up to just an amazing, flavorful explosion, it seems.
The whole is definitely better than the sum of its parts.
But what are you beginning to see around the corner? I mean, that you're thinking might be a trend for you that maybe you'll be pursuing, just as a look-see into the next couple of years. Anything?
We've discovered just about every ingredient I think this area has to offer. So I think we're looking for perhaps different ideas in food, different ideas in cooking techniques, maybe applying some interesting new age ideas in cooking that would allow us to present something that's familiar yet something that's different. There's a new wave in trying to cook what's called a sous vide in French, which means under vacuum. And so you put this piece of fish that you marinate simply, and you put it in a little baggie, and you throw it in a little water bath, and you cook it really slow for a long period of time, and what comes out is this beautifully textured piece of fish that otherwise just kind of has this being between raw and cooked. It's somewhere suspended in that state, and it has the texture that you're not familiar with, yet you know the salmon. You've lived with it, you were raised with it. And so for us, the discovery, yet again, of the same ingredient, but perhaps manipulated in a slightly different way, would be a thing that we're exploring. We've just built ourselves a brand new kitchen that is filled with wonderful little new gadgets that we've been able to source, and we're just growing into it. We're exploring possibilities of seeing the ingredient in a different fashion.
Are you still spending as much time in the kitchen as you did, say, back in the beginning?
We've grown exponentially, so I definitely have a capable crew that cooks on a daily basis. My duties are perhaps less being behind the stove, more being as a team leader, a manager, creative force behind, though we do lead a fairly democratic society in our kitchen. We all pitch in, and ideas are heard, listened, explored, and then we all come out with these wonderful combinations. And what it does, I believe, is that it gives a cook behind the stove a sense of ownership. And so he's not just recognizing what the chef wants in the kitchen, but he's also very proud of what he's putting on the plate, and it shows, and it helps us keep the consistency. So I think this democratic way in our kitchen, in our restaurant in general, really works well and churns out wonderful people. I am constantly reminded of several of the graduates from Paley's that are going out to do their own thing, and I love to see when the light goes on and people just do their own thing.
Yeah, and take off from there. Like you're kind of the same jumping off point that New York was for you, or France, or something like that.
You know, without even knowing it, kind of happened that way.
Yeah. What do chefs eat at home? When you and Kimberly get home, that must be just like, oh God, what's in there? What's in your refrigerator right now, for instance? the proverbial bottle of champagne and one perfect orange, or what?
There are several very good bottles of champagne waiting to be opened, that's for sure. Though Kimberly and I are very simple at home. Yeah. A good salad or a good pasta or a good risotto. For example, last night we went out, we bought some fresh Alaskan king crab. We made our own cocktail sauce. We had that with a nice little couple of glasses of wine, and then when the shells were left over, I made some stock, and we made a beautiful soup using some kale and some ginger and some lemongrass. And
I'm dying over here. That sounds so delicious.
And it was just one of those continuations, like what do you do with these shells? Well, you throw them away, or you could make soup with them. So that's what we did. And that's what we ate last night. We ate some soup.
Yeah. Is there ever a time where you just go, you know what, I'm just too tired to eat? Or just go out someplace?
Chips and salsa is
there
a
you
snack,
go.
for sure. Yeah.
Even for chefs.
Oh yeah. Though it has to be organic salsa and local salsa and really nice chips, but it's definitely there.